shall not light a fire on the Sabbath day. Carry no burdens.
This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer to Reaction. As usual, I hope everyone had a good weekend. What I'm looking at today is the final trailer for The Carpenter's Son, which apparently, and I'll explain that in a moment, is a horror movie based upon, to some extent, the life of Jesus. First off, nothing I've yet seen from this looks like a horror movie. It could be a thriller of sorts, but I don't get horror vibes from it. There seems to be nothing in the way of gore or bloodletting, and it just seems interesting. But I'm not sure how much of a horror movie it is. And there's one other thing. I mentioned that this is based upon the life, to some extent anyway, of Jesus Christ. Now, the United States can talk as much tolerance as it likes. What we as a collective say and what we do are two entirely different things. Which is to say that there are a lot of people in this country who talk tolerance, who talk freedom of speech, but aren't quite keen on having one of the more important beings in the Christian pantheon used in the fashion of a horror movie, if it's a horror movie, because as I said, I've seen very little that shows that. It could be in the vein of something like The Omen, which isn't Christian per se, but it is the story of the Antichrist. But once again, this is on very tricky ground, and that kind of worries me a little bit, to be totally honest. In any case, let's look at the final trailer for The Carpenter's Son.
Do you not believe your own visions?
Pray, now!
You shall not light a fire on the Sabbath day. Carry no burdens. Reaping, gathering, plowing, threshing, shearing, sowing, disentangling, dyeing, tearing, trapping, slaughtering, skinning. You shall not join!
Look ahead. Tell me, what do you see?
Evil.
Well, that was the final trailer for The Carpenter's Son. And as I was saying, it's very stylish and stylized. There were some examples of gore and violence in that trailer, but nothing beyond, for the most part, what you know of from the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. I don't know what to think about this movie. Not even the question of being good or bad, just how it's going to approach the material. And that, when you're dealing with something like an interpretation of Christianity, is crucial. So what do you think? This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com and Trailer to Reaction. If you agree, disagree, let me know down below. And as usual, consider a like, follow, or buy me a coffee. Peace.